bass, so I started checking that out a little bit, seeing what he was doing. And he was a fan of mine, I was a fan of his stuff, and so we just hooked up. And after a few years of hanging out, we just decided, hey, we need to do something together. We kept talking about it, and then I was working out in my gym, and I heard this old Barry White song, and I could just hear Wayman playing bass over the top of it. So I called him up, and I said, I think I got the song that we could have some fun with. And they heard it and listened to it, and they said, it's perfect. So that's how it all started, man. We went to his studio and cut the thing, and I've got my first jazz record out there.
But then in the middle of a very dark night, the song grew terribly sour. The simple act of walking down the steps changed his life forever.
I remember like it was yesterday. I was pretty much just 2:30 in the morning going to get my wife some water.
I heard this, and I was thinking, he did not fall. That was my first thought.
I took a little stumble. I thought I stumbled, and
I jump out of the bed and I go running, and I'm yelling Wayman and he's yelling Regina at the same time. And when I get there, he's just sitting on the step.
Pretty much my wife ran down the steps and said, did you fall? Did you break your leg? I'm like...
And he was looking, and I said, get up, get up, get up, you know? And so when he goes to get up, he yells.
And looked up, and part of my leg was over here, and the other part was over here. It just seemed like somebody took a baseball bat and just boom.
And so then I'm freaked out then, you know, and I'm like, what should I do? What should I do? I mean, I guess I should have known. He's, you know, and he was so calm. That's what I remember the most, is how calm he was. And so, you know, he said, call 911.
Got to the hospital, and when I woke up out of the surgery, because they just set the leg back, the leg had broke completely in half. And after months and months of, you know, testing and all that, that's when they found out that there was a tumor, and the bone had pretty much disintegrated, just eaten away from the cancer all the way through the bone. And it just was brittle at that point, and it just broke in half while I was walking down the steps. And I mean, literally, in just like that, my life changed.
The diagnosis was bone cancer, a cyst behind his knee, and thus began an excruciating and ultimately futile 18-month war.
You're not, you mean, when you're sitting around waiting for that, you're not expecting to hear the C word of anything. You know, I'm thinking, okay, I have to do a couple of things. They got to maybe go in and operate and get it out. You know, you're not hearing, you know, 8 weeks of chemo and sickness and all this other stuff, and then an 8-hour surgery to remove the cyst at first.
I would just walk out of the room and just cry, but I wouldn't do it in front of him. But there were some times we both cried.
For the first time in a long time, the music stopped. I didn't have the music, didn't have the drive to even go into the studio because I didn't know what was going on with me. I was more concerned about that than what note I was playing.
But during the second round of chemotherapy, Tisdale moved back into the studio and applied a different salve to his wounds.
I worked throughout the whole time. Once I got back into the music, that never left me. I would go back in, finish a different type of record. That keeps me going.
I can't even tell you how, I mean, I'm the biggest baby when it comes to going to the doctor. So he took it just like I figured he would take it, just like I knew he would take it.
You go through all of this, and you get through it, and then they come along and say, you're not done yet.
It was like 10 weeks that I was just literally just sicker than a dog. And at the end of that period, for the doctors to tell me it's not working, that was tough. And then for them to tell you, you have to amputate your leg. Now, how do you gear up for that? You thought you went through two of the hardest things you ever did. Really and truly, the amputation was easier than everything else I had been through.
They took his right leg just above the knee, and the man who was once one of the most gifted leapers in the world had to learn to walk all over again.
I'm the type of person that not only do I want to know how to learn how to walk again, but I'm going to master this thing where it's not even a thought.
You know, as a pro athlete, going through something debilitating like this is a real, you'd expect to be a big mood swing change. You never saw that with Wayman, which is a little odd. But he seems to me to be pretty genuine with, hey, this isn't going to stop me. I'm going to go on. Like, you know you lost your leg, right? And he's like, yeah, this is just a roadblock in my life.
It's only been a few months, baby steps. The prosthesis has had to be rebuilt twice to accommodate the astonishing progress Wayman has made.
This is the 45. Yeah.
This is the one we used last time.
Wow, look at that. It just fall right off of you, man.
Yeah.
Through it all, minus that one desperate, plaintively quiet period, the music has been his savior.
At night, please don't you worry about the things that you go through.
It got me through the death of my father. It got me through many nights on losing teams. It got me through this. It's the mental warfare, man. It's the test of wills. Are you gonna let it get you, or am I gonna get it? And this let me know that, hey, I know what type of warrior I am, and I can make it through.
Keep your head up, 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 say yeah.
To come out of a story like that and have a smile on your face, and that says a lot about Wayman Tisdale. I do want to credit John O'Connor, the producer, and his crew on that, because unbelievable piece. Doesn't stay this quiet in this room for that long very often, but that was amazing.
Yeah, but we were talking about it earlier tonight. That doesn't shock us. That's Wayman Tisdale. I don't think I've ever seen that guy. Like I said earlier, that guy might have been the best college basketball player I've seen during my lifetime. He had a good NBA career, but he was unbelievable in college. But I ain't never seen that guy not smile. I don't think every time when I played against him, when I saw him before the game, after the game, that guy was always in a good mood.
He was.
I say, other than Patrick Ewing, that guy there might be the nicest guy ever to play in the NBA. And he was always religious, and that does not surprise us. We talked about it off the air. That does not surprise us that he is that, just handling it like that.
And the song that you're singing said, God doesn't give you too much that you can't handle. And for him, you know, like you said, he's the only one I know that can handle. When I played in Sacramento, I lived at this guy's house. Like, you know, 8 meals. I was single, 22, from New York City, and didn't know what to do. And he taught me how to handle myself outside of the game. And I credit it. This guy had me buy a keyboard. He was teaching me how to play a keyboard. I bought a music studio because of him. This guy had me all into music and everything. And he's a great family. I know his family really well. His daughter's doing well. And I think the one thing that you look at and you say is perseverance and discipline, determination, and faith. That guy represents all of that.
A little hard, though, for you guys. I mean, as positively as you think about it, we've been talking about all night, to actually watch it there. A little difficult, as much as you like the guy, to see him.
It's difficult. Honestly, it's difficult because, you know him, but then it's not, because you know him. And because you know that he's the only one who could put the spin on that. And honestly, it's not really the same thing, but when you think of Magic Johnson and you heard the HIV, he's the only guy, when I was thinking, I was like, he's the only guy who could probably put a spin on this and make it positive at that time, because, you know, all of the different awareness and the same way I feel about Wayman. When I heard about it, I was like, but he'll be okay. You know, certain guys I would have really worried about, but for him, I knew he'd be okay and his family would be okay. But the main thing, he's just thankful to be alive, because you see, we see so many people who don't make it through cancer, and for him to be alive, that to me is one of the reasons you are thankful for, and it makes you, like, I guess I'll quit complaining that my HBO and things like that go out, but you know, he can handle it.
you know, I could say, you know, the Lord He's given me a special life, and I've never been through anything like that. But I am thankful for my life, and